Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now today's video, very exciting. This kind of puts a wrap on a video series covering the development of the TOPS MPAT. Now this entire thing started at Blade Show 2021 down in Atlanta, covering the TOPS booth with my channel and coming across their prototypes. At the time, we saw the MPAT in its first version. Now, beyond that, I also had the ability to meet with designer Seth Brown. He happened to be local in my area. I caught up with him and we went through his design, his process, his mentality, and the reason why the MPAT was developed in the first place. And here now today in my hands, the final production version. After really a couple of years of work, development, prototyping, testing, refinement, and then the production run, here now in my hands, the MPAT production run. So what we're gonna do, we have a whole bunch in store for you today. I'm gonna do a quick unboxing, take a look at this in detail. We're gonna catch up with Seth, see how he's doing. So with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at TOPS who did provide this for this video. And so now again, as I mentioned here, the TOPS MPAT. This is absolutely fantastic. I am excited for this. So this is just going to be a little unboxing. Now I've seen the MPAT in the past, but of course I've never seen the final production run. There are a few differences between this, how it ended up now, and where it sort of started life as really more of a conceptual idea and then ultimately a prototype. So there are some subtle changes. The sheath has been fully designed and developed, and here now the full production run, which is absolutely awesome. So in the box here, we've got a nice top sticker, very high quality, which is awesome. Their catalog, the 2022 edition, which I will enjoy looking through this in a little bit, but without further ado here, the MPAT. So as you can see, typical TOPS box. They do a nice job. Back in the day, their knives did not come in boxes, but everyone I've received in recent history has come in a very nicely packaged, just production box. And again, as we break this out here, the MPAT. So little lube. This is actually, I believe, Breakthrough Clean Products, if I am not mistaken. Yes, that is correct. So a little bit of knife oil, which is awesome. Doesn't matter if you have a fixed blade or folding knife, to have some oil to protect it is fantastic. And the MPAT here, nicely sealed in a wrapper. This will help keep some moisture off of it, keep it protected. Of course, TOPS knives, $10.95, and that's what we expect to see here from the MPAT. Now, one of the things, as I mentioned, that was not fully designed at the time I saw the prototype was the sheath. Keep in mind, this has very specific build for very specific reason. The MPAT was designed as a pilot's knife. That's exactly what this is. So the first thing you'll notice about the MPAT, everything about this, very slim profile. The MPAT is absolutely made to minimize the space on your vest, on your equipment, in the rest of your gear, just to overall just minimize the profile so you don't get snagged, so that it doesn't get in the way, so that at the end of it all, you have a good quality stout blade, yet a very low profile. And that's the case not only with the knife itself, but all the way through the sheath design. So this here, a pancake style, giving you a couple of different perfectly spaced MOLLE clips. These are spring clips here, but MOLLE style that will allow these to go on your modular equipment, your MOLLE vest, or any other sort of tactical gear in a very slim profile. Now, something that's interesting is if you look at the original prototype, the prototype was black. It was not tan. At the end of all of this, this color, this overall just combination of colors was very specifically chosen for combat purposes, to maintain a low profile, to blend in with camouflage, to blend in with pilots, ultimately the colors of their uniforms, the color of all of their gear, and just again maintain the lowest possible profile, not just in size and shape, but also in visibility. Now, just running through some specifications again, this is tops 1095, high carbon steel, 56 to 58 Rockwell. This is an overall length of 9.75 inches. The blade length, 4.88 inches with a cutting edge of roughly 4.75 inches. You will notice it has a small sharpening choil. The blade thickness at 0.19 inches. That is roughly a 3/16 of an inch stock. The entire knife weighing in at 7.2 ounces, which is a very nice light package overall. And then combined with the Kydex sheath, ringing in at roughly 10.9 ounces. Now this handle is a tan canvas micarta, and then the blade finish, the Coyote tan coating, matching in again with the Coyote tan Kydex sheath. So overall, a very nice package, very well done. And the main thing, again, just talking through the fact that the design elements of the MPAT, very, very specifically done. We've covered this with Seth in the past, but now that we've made some subtle design changes and refined the product, let's get him on the line. Let's check in. Hey, Seth, what's going on, man?
Hey, Seth Brown, what's going on, man?
Hey, brother, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Awesome to be here. Hey, I think the last time we were together, it was a little over a year ago, huh?
Was it that long?
It was that long.
This process has been, it's been a long one, so it all melts together.
Well, we're here today, of course, to talk about your MPAT. Now, you just said it. The process is a long time. I mean, people think they're going to snap their fingers and poof, here's a new knife model, on the floor. But that's not the way it works around here, is it?
No, unfortunately. And, everything was also exacerbated by COVID. So,
yep.
Standard answer over the last couple of years.
Yeah, but hey, all good things take their time. And the best news is when you get something from Tops, you're getting something that's top of the line premium. And I got to say, man, this absolutely shows not only in the design, but the craftsmanship as well.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited about it. Really looking forward to hearing more people's reviews about it.
That's pretty cool. So have you been showing this off to your family and stuff, or your friends? I'm sure they've seen it.
Oh yeah. Well, so I did a first production kind of sale with family and friends.
Nice.
To pretty much shotgun it out everywhere I could get. So I got it in the hands of a lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of flyers, a lot of fighter pilots.
Excellent. Yeah.
So some Green Berets, some JTACs, a lot of different folks to try and disseminate as much as possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, so for everybody watching, I mean, this is really the third part of a 3-part series for me. We met about a year ago and really talked about your, at the time it was the prototype stage and you were going into production, but now you have your production run. So how many knives did they actually make for this first production run? Do you know how many units?
I think it was 2,000.
Wow.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not for certain. You might have to ask Craig about that one.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, imagine at that point, you after all this work, you got 2,000 of your blades and the potential out there. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it sure is. And he talked about, I mean, it's going well. It's popular. So they'll probably be doing another one soon is what they're thinking.
Ah, cool. No, that's great, man. And that's good news. Glad to hear that it's a success early on. So do me a favor real quick, just for anybody who might be new to this particular knife. Can you just describe your design philosophy a little bit for everyone?
Sure. So I actually got a bunch of my prototypes out. So I actually put up a picture of this one for the very first time the other day. So this is the one that I made and sent to them, the one that Sam helped me do in that original video there. So that's this one.
Nice.
So I'll just talk about it from this, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I wanted something very thin. That's obviously been pretty polarizing when people are getting it in hand. They're like, man, this is really thin. And then usually the next sentence is, but I can see why it was designed that way. You know, the purpose of it, there's a reason behind it, right? I mean, anyone can pop the scales off and throw a liner in there if you want to make it thicker, you know. I don't know. We even actually thickened it up a little bit from the original, so you can see how thin that is. And then we added a little bit to it. So, but anyway, wanted something thin, hold close to the body. That was kind of an all-around knife. Survival, self-defense, anything like that. So essentially, if you were having to bail out of an aircraft, whether that be eject, whether that be jumping out the back, if you're going to have one with you, I wanted it to be this one. So another kind of polarizing thing I'm finding is the pommel. It's definitely pointed. So it hasn't, no one's really been getting like injured or anything. They're just finding that, you know, it's definitely a little sharp, especially in this position. Some people like to put their thumb there. My kind of thought philosophy behind it was, you know, your strongest grip is going to be here. It's not going to be here. And if you are really trying to thrust down on something, this is going to be stronger than this, personally. Same reason why I did kind of the high guard. So your hand's not going to slip out of there, whether you're thrusting, whether you're doing kind of a hammer fist, anything like that. Additionally, I really wanted to make it a size that would be comfortable with folks, for folks with all different size hands, as well as with gloves on. So I know there's been a couple videos out of guys grabbing it with their gloves, and they're like, man, this thing feels secure. You know, whether it's wet, muddy, bloody, doesn't matter. It shouldn't be leaving your hand. But that's really the thought behind it there. Another kind of feature that people are definitely mentioning a lot about is the fuller. You know, you get the K-bar comments all the time. Sure, that wasn't really the purpose behind it. The purpose was to get that balance right where your index finger is in the knife. So it's a balance issue. It's a weight issue. Cuts down on the weight in the front, and then if you were to take your scales off, you'd see that it's actually skeletonized under there. So get that good balance, and that's really all it's there for.
No, that's cool. And you know what? I mean, it's a pilot's knife. It has to have that pilot's knife look and feel. And, you know, there's only so many ways you can push designs and twist designs and make things that are unique. And you know what? You've brought unique design elements. You've brought modern design elements, but at the same time, it pays that homage to classic design and the classic reasons to make a knife like this. So, I mean, you're striking that balance no matter what you do, and you're going to have people that like it and people that hate it. And hey, man, that's good knife design right there. Polarizing is not a bad thing.
No, I'm okay with it. And you know what? At the end of the day, if people want to modify it, do their own thing, that's kind of what I wanted, right? If you're not flying a fighter jet, I want this thing on your hip. I want it on your pack. I want it on your vest. It's going to sit tight to the body. It's going to sit high if you're wearing it as it's delivered to you, with the clips that Topps provided with it. If you want a girthier handle, pop those off and throw some liners on there. It's easy. You know what I mean? Like, just modify it. And speaking of that, like, the sheath is super customizable, modular. There's so many different things you can do with it. I'm actually going to put out a video about that. I'll let you know when I put that out. Just showing the options if people aren't, you know, married to this. Additionally, if they're not married to the retention strap, another thing, they're like, I don't really know why that's on there. Well, I'll tell you why. When it's inverted on your chest and you eject, there's a lot of force, instantaneous. I think it's 20 G's pulling down I'm not going to trust just a Kydex retention. I'm going to double that up, triple it up as much as possible. So something you can remove, etc. Lot
Yeah,
you can do.
people need to remember why you designed it in the first place. And yeah, it's a multi-role knife, but at the same time, there was a reason why it was made the way it was. So that makes a lot of sense. So just a couple of things. I mean, two main points. A, how awesome is it seeing like reviewers now reviewing your design, which is always really cool. But B, now you see your knife like in some of your favorite shops, your Blade HQs and even places literally around the world. I mean,
Yeah.
how just cool has that been?
It's been really cool. Definitely a new experience for me. So I've been, reposting links to every website that I can find that had it, just because like people are asking me, hey, where can I get this? I'm like, hey, this has a good deal. They got a good deal. They got this. They got, and I'm trying to I'll also give small shops, some props there. So that's been really cool.
Nice.
There's been a handful of reviews. It's not. I mean, we're only on week 2, pushing 3. So
Yeah.
I really want people to beat the crap out of it, and don't hold back at all. In their reviews.
I mean, I know you didn't. I saw what you did to your knife, man. And, that original prototype had some awesome, scuffs and really no damage to note.
That's the one. The lighting's not great, but that's the one the first one I got.
Yep.
Beat the crap out of it. That's what it's for. That's what the warranty's for.
Yeah, true. Good
right?
point. Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you, because you are the one that said the term polarizing. And so I think there's another polarizing part about this knife, which is the final colorway. I know that there's people that have kind of bantered back and forth and said, oh, it should be black. And listen, I understand the sort of desires for a low profile stealth knife, but at the same time, you changed the colors for this, really going with these tans for a very specific reason, right?
Yeah. So the combat vest we wear and the flight suit we wear in at least the war zone we've been fighting in for the last 20 years is tan. Everything's tan. Additionally, you're trying to maybe conceal something. There's not a lot of places to conceal things on a flight suit. There's not a lot of, everything's right there open on your vest. I mean, if you can do as much as you can to have that blend in, then I would rather have that. Plus, I don't know about what your thoughts, but I think this sand it's badass. This coating is super cool. I think, we definitely looked at trying to throw in some aesthetics with black liners, black hardware on both the sheath and the knife, and I think it makes it pop, and I think it's cool as hell. But you know what, you can always strip it, you can always Cerakote it, you can always dye your handles. I don't care. That's the thing, is like a lot of people I feel like get really married and like attached to their designs and stuff. Make it what you want it, customize it.
Yeah, literally like a canvas. But, I fully agree that this tan is definitely badass. And I'll tell you this, I don't have another knife in my collection that's this exact color. Do I have other tans? Sure, but it's very unique and it is really cool. It's hard to describe this to people that actually aren't holding it, but it's more than just the tan that you see. It's subtle, but it's almost got like it's a sand look.
Yeah,
to
it's
it
granular.
as well.
Like you feel like you can see grains of sand or something, specks.
Yeah, it's
cool.
neat. It's neat.
Really
It
neat.
is really, really nice, man. And I am impressed at this. Again, back to another point, a multi-role and multi-use knife. I mean, from literally EDC, I've EDC'd this, and it conceals extremely well. Very low profile. It can sit high, which is really, I don't typically like knives that sit that high, but this can sit high, which helps you to conceal it perfectly. So from EDC, concealed carry, military roles, of course, even potentially law enforcement. The interesting thing that I didn't see coming, and you would probably appreciate this, I showed this to my brother-in-law, who's an EOD bomb tech, and he was like, that's the exact knife that we're like supposed to be carrying. They, I guess, have to literally cut through like C4 explosives. And he's like, this is what it's supposed to be. You know, a lot of us are carrying folding knives that are flimsy or could, like, you know, the locks could fail potentially. He's like, but that's what we're supposed to have to be able to do those tasks. So he was like really digging it. And I thought that was pretty cool if you think about what those guys must go through.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool to hear. I hope he gets one strapped to his chest then.
So yeah, we'll work on that for him. But Seth, man, it's been a long journey. You know, it's great to see this project unfold. I've kind of been here behind the scenes watching it the entire time. So I'm proud for you, what you've pulled off for the Tops team. Really exciting to see this. But the big question is, what's next for Seth Brown?
Well, first, I appreciate the support. We've always kept in touch, and you know, you've always been very excited about it. So I appreciate that. And of course, working with Tops is awesome.
Yeah.
Good group of guys. I've got another design I'm kicking around. I kind of put it on the back burner. I wanted to see how this went, right? I wanted to sort of legitimize myself in the knife design scene before I kind of pull the trigger on it, but it's done. I've got it in my garage right now. As a teaser, I guess it's meant to be a boot knife that could fit like under my G suit, for example. Those things cinch super tight, so you can't have anything, again, something thin, right? But you can't have anything too fat on your boot, and you won't be able to zip up your G suit. So it's a boot knife. It's kind of a dagger style, but it's short, so it's pretty cool. I could also really see it as a pretty cool neck knife for folks if they don't wear boots, or if that's not their thing. So haven't really decided what I'm gonna do with that and the timing for that, but I'll be sure to keep you posted.
Oh, that's cool, man. So you're gonna let the MPAT marinate a little bit, and then we'll see what happens.
That's
nice.
Right. Yeah, man.
Well, Seth, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you coming on the channel.
Thank
you. For all of you, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So Seth, man, appreciate it, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
See ya.